In this video, I'm going to be going over a lot of the must-read books for real estate agents, and these books cover everything from the brand new real estate agent or the real estate agent that's got 20 or 30 years of experience. So these books are an absolute must-read if you are either stuck in your old ways or you need some motivation, or you're just looking to read something to increase your sales skills. Now, some of these books will be real estate specific, some of these will not, some of these will be a little bit more sales specific, but nonetheless, these are books that have absolutely not only changed my game in terms of real estate sales, but also so many other agents. When these books were recommended to them, they have given the feedback that this has absolutely changed their business and their lives because of the amount of success that they've gained through reading these books. So the first book that I want to talk about is called Never Split the Difference, and this is by Chris Voss with, I don't know how to say the name, Tal Raz. Interestingly enough, Chris Voss is a former FBI hostage negotiator. And so what he did is he took his skills from being an FBI hostage negotiator and then somehow, some way transitioned that into the best possible way to sell something. And if you can imagine that if someone is very good at being a hostage negotiator, they obviously can then provide some pretty solid advice on how to fine tune or enhance your negotiation skills, both from writing an offer standpoint for your clients, but also in terms of how to convert at a higher level, whether it be in your first initial phone call or better yet in the listing appointment or in the buyer consultation. Now, on this note, they actually wrote a book specifically for real estate agents. At least Chris Voss did. This is a book by Chris Voss and Steve Scholl, and this is called The Full Fee Agent. And so this book is awesome because I'll kind of read a little bit from the back here. It says, the full fee agent is a proven blueprint for getting more business and, more importantly, doing business in a better way. Every deal comes easier with less stress and more profit. The tough conversations that used to haunt you become effortless. Your pipeline fills with repeat and referral clients, and you feel more authentic and balanced than ever before. So it does hit a lot on how to get your full fee. Naturally, in the current environment that we are in, which is a changing environment, there are a lot of agents that are no longer going for their full fee, or they aren't getting super creative around their fee. And this book, again, FBI hostage negotiator, implemented his skills from the FBI into the real estate industry and how to not only get a full fee in terms of your listing fee or even your buyer fee. This also goes into the real estate sales cycle a little bit and gives you some best practices from his FBI hostage negotiator days.
So this next book is called Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents. Now, there is a book called Exactly What to Say, and it is a phenomenal prospecting book, but this one was written specifically for real estate agents. I would highly recommend this book for real estate agents and with any experience whatsoever, but more specifically for newer agents. I get the comment all of the time from new agents that say, hey, I struggle with scripting, I struggle with objection handling, there's so many different scripts, there's so many different objections, and I'm a little overwhelmed and not sure where to start in terms of prospecting. And this book covers it all. Not only does it cover it all, but you guys, it's the easiest read. Any page I flip to has got to be the easiest page to read. This is a short read. You can literally read this in 30 to 45 minutes. But more importantly, this is something to keep by your desk because it's got a couple of different graphics in here, or not graphics, but just little tables that allow you to look at a situation and an objection, and it's got a very quick 1 or 2 sentence line that will master that objection or handle that objection. Highly, highly, highly recommend for those that are building their business with prospecting. This is a must read.
This next book is The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. Gary Keller is the founder of Keller Williams, and it doesn't matter what brokerage you are with. You can ask many agents that are with many different brokerages, and they will tell you that this book absolutely changed their life. This is by far one of the most practical real estate books that you are going to read. It literally gives you a blueprint for success. I talk a lot in my videos about a proven path of success, and that we would much rather go down a boring path of success because it guarantees us success rather than getting super creative or trying to recreate the wheel for us to end up being broke with no success, right? And this is one of those proven paths of success that has stood the test of time. This book has been around for so long. and this is an absolute game changer for really any real estate agent, but also if you're wanting to get into the real estate industry. This is a really good blueprint. If you follow this from day one of your real estate journey, you will at least enhance your odds of being a successful real estate agent if you apply the methods that are in this book. Now, moving into a couple of other books that are not real estate specific. The first one is called Ninja Selling. This book is incredible. This will change the way that your mind thinks about sales and the systems around sales. And there's so much knowledge and so much value that is jam-packed into this book. This will absolutely, without a doubt, make you a better salesman. This has impacted so many different industries. This was actually recommended by someone in a completely different sales industry, and so I kind of thought that it wouldn't maybe apply to real estate, and I was absolutely wrong. This book is amazing. This was in my top 3 books in totality of last year. Incredible, incredible, incredible. And I think what's really cool about this book too is when I say it's going to change the way that you think about sales, it will do that subtly. It's not some where you have to completely change your life in order to sell more homes or convert more clients. This will give you subtle nods and subtle hints and subtle changes for you to implement that make a massive difference in your business. Now, another sales book that has absolutely changed my life is Gap Selling. I love this book. This has been my #1 recommended book to real estate agents over the last 6 months. And the reason being is because this, to me, really speaks to converting buyers and sellers at the consultation. This talks a lot about the gap between point A and point B and getting as much information as you possibly can and asking hundreds of questions and the different types of questions and why it's important to ask so many questions to understand a buyer or seller's where they are in point A. And until you can get all of that information, then we start to talk about point B and where they want to go and get all of that information. And basically it talks about the wider the gap that we can create from point A from point B, and everything in between that gap is value that we can then implement or add into their situation, the more likely we are to convert that sale. And so this has been an absolute game changer. It was funny because just like in Ninja Selling, I got about a third of the way through the book and I was processing this on how to sell more homes, specifically real estate, and I wasn't applying this to how to convert more leads into buyers and sellers and into signed agreements. And that I then started the book over with that changed mindset, and this blew my mind. And it led to way more listing appointments specifically, and it's increased the conversion rate of many agents that I've talked to. If you read this book, I would almost guarantee that you will increase your conversion rate from met to signed, both buyers and sellers, just by reading this book. Incredible. All right, this last book is an interesting one. It is called Unreasonable Hospitality. Now, I was able to listen to this author speak as a keynote speaker, and what's really interesting is this book has nothing to do with real estate. This book is about the owner of a 5-star restaurant that was eventually awarded the #1 restaurant in the world, and it happens to be in New York City. And he basically explained how he became the #1 restaurant in the world, and it wasn't because of the food. Yes, the food was great, but it became about the service that he provided in the very quick 1 to 2 hours that he had with each client or each guest in the restaurant. And simply because of the way that he went through the entire process of refining and fine-tuning his client process or his restaurant attendees process of how they receive the food and how the servers serve the food and how they're being served and how the check is even delivered. And they basically took every single touch point that they could possibly think of between the restaurant staff and the people that attend that restaurant, and how they could make that unreasonable hospitality or how they could go above and beyond. And that's what led them to being the #1 restaurant in the world. And so this was really cool to not only hear him as a keynote speaker, but reading this book, a lot of this can be applied. This is how, instead of increasing your sales in terms of prospecting or in the buyer and seller consultation, you can absolutely apply these principles there. But where I like to apply these principles is with past clients and sphere of influence, where you can show up and show out for those people so that you can get more repeat business and more referrals, which is obviously a more profitable way to run your real estate business. So I really, really, really recommend this book. It's also an enjoyable read. It's very heartwarming to read as well. And so I hope that you can read this book, and I hope that you can apply it to your consultations, but also your past clients and your sphere of influence. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video of a couple of must-reads or my recommendations for real estate agents that are either entering into the real estate industry or have even had years and years, even decades of experience. If you've not read these books, I highly, highly, highly recommend them. All of these books will be in the description below so that you can access them very easily. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some value out of it, and I hope that you enjoyed these books. See you next time.